another session of the Hopry. As you can tell, I am not Mark Starr, I am Tim Pratt, and tonight I'm the proud presenter of two Hopry firsts. Not only are we doing the first cider that has ever been on the Hopry, this is the first time the big red beard himself has not been sitting next to us to share his knowledge and love of beer as well. But like I said tonight, guys, it's kind of an exciting night for me. It's my first solo flight here on the Hopry, but it's also the first time the Hopry gets to bring you a cider. And tonight we're bringing you an artisanal cider from the Crispin Cider Company. It is on their artisanal reserve brand called the Saint. I'm taking the Saint as a name comes from the fact that they have fermented this thing with Trappist ale yeast. They've also said that they have put a little bit of maple syrup in there as well to help smooth a little bit of it out. It's brewed using traditional cider methods that really is exactly what it sounds like. They press out fresh apples, add in the yeasts and whatever else they want to add in to flavor it, and there you go. And what that brings us is this. It's a hard cider. It's a beverage. It's been around for quite a while. It's been known as hard cider, at least in this neck of the woods, since about the 1840s. And at least now in the 2010s, we get to see what Crispin Cider from Minneapolis, Minnesota gets to bring us today. Really, without much rambling and babbling on about myself here, let's go ahead and see what this thing looks like in the glass. From what I read earlier, is seeming to hold a little bit true. There's absolutely, virtually no head on this whatsoever. Even as I try to work one up, I can't. It's pretty much non-existent. It did fizz a little bit coming out of the bottle, but that seems to have pretty much dissipated off into nothing. Looking at it, frankly, it looks a little bit cloudy. It's a little bit of a hazy straw color that you might more of expect in a kind of a summertime wheat beer. There's definitely some cloudy aspects to it. Well, I guess while we're at it, I'll go ahead and shove my nose into this thing and kind of see what we pick up here. First smell, I'm definitely getting some definite apple peel. Not so much the fruit of the apple so much, but the peel itself. Very crisp apple though. More along the sour apple, like a Granny Smith or something along those lines. I can't say that it's all sour tart apple. There's a little bit of sweet apple in there, but there's a lot of other flavors and aromas going on. It's musty. There's a little bit of almost kind of sweet yet sour funk to it. I mean, really, from traditional ciders that still have that very much apple cider flavor, this one has that apple cider aroma, but that's about where it stops. I mean, I'm getting some honeysuckle. If there's any maple syrup in there at all, I'm not necessarily detecting it, but that doesn't mean that it's not in there. I didn't make this stuff. I'll take their word for it. They're the ones that made it. Well, now I'm dying to taste it, so I'm going to go ahead and do so. It's not as still as you would think. Kind of really once it gets in and washes around, the teeth and tongue, it actually sends to foam up a little bit more, so you can get a little bit more of that flavor coming out in it. It's for a cider, there's almost a musty funk that I know for a fact has to be coming from that Belgian yeast that's in there. Almost a faint bit of barnyard, which I would almost tie back to a saison. Very interesting flavors going on here. A little bit of latent sweetness, probably from the maple syrup that they did add in there. Sitting at 6.9%, they were able to to get some gravity out of this thing. In a lot of ciders, they can go anywhere from your super low ABV, almost 2%, up to really the apple wines that go up to 10+%. But this one's right in the middle of the road. Just a little bit of alcohol on the back end, but there's a definite sweetness that carries through, a definite funk that carries through. This is a cider that I could actually probably sit down and have one or two of. Typically for me, ciders are way too sweet, a little bit cloying almost. They might be good once or during a football game during the year, but this is actually something that I could see myself going back to. And hey, just for all of you that unfortunately may not be able to drink gluten, the bottle says that it's gluten-free. So anyway, feel free to try it if you like. I'm going to sit here and probably drink just a little bit more on this thing to hopefully get a little bit better of an opinion on it, so I can hopefully put it into some words that will appear just below me on the screen. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us here on another session of the Hopry. Again, Mark, thank you for letting me take the reins on this one. My name is Tim Pratt. This is the Hopry. Cheers.